FaZe needed it, but because Fluke needed it so that he could drink some more G Fuel.
Drink more G Fuel, get myself pumped up for this match, because it's going to be crazy. But we get in with these bans. First of all, Lion, as we said, is taken off the board instantly. That is a very obvious takeout. So now it's FaZe for, as we said, probably a target ban, probably a prediction ban. You can see they're discussing it. They're taking a bit of time with it.
I think the Glaz, honestly. Sorry, not the Glaz. From FaZe, I think maybe like a Blitz or something like that coming out from them. Just because, you know, shields are very, very powerful on here. And just stuff like that coming through, like a shield, a Montaigne, or a Blitz coming through would be pretty good from FaZe. I'm kind of expecting something like that. We'll see how he's going to come through. See exactly what it is. It should be the KB coming through. So, not quite within the prediction. And I want to mention as well that guy in studio was whispering in my ear that it was going to be a Montaigne.
It's all right. We all make errors sometimes. But DKB and there's Clash, the other second prediction. It also seems like they were, as you said, they were discussing it. It was a target ban. This is a region that does enjoy target banning. It seems like Nip was comfortable. This is probably going to be the Echo, just removing it from play. No,
smoke ban.
Second time they've banned smoke out. So again, it's kind of in their wheelhouse. And obviously that was them removing it from their selection. So when you're starting the 5 defense and you want to take smoke out of your play, you know, it's lesser seen if you're the one taking defense first.
Yeah, some very interesting bans coming out today. And we're going to be moving through onto Coastline. The smoke ban is definitely going to change things up. And honestly, I was expecting a thinker here from Una to start with. And I think, honestly, he might 6-pick it.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes on. Starting in with a mirror, they're going to Hookah Billiards first instead of Penthouse.
I was half right. He did 6-pick, but he'd 6-pick onto the Glaz instead. We're going to see a Hookah Lounge and a Billiards Room defense, and we'll see how that indeed goes through as FaZe Clan begin their attack. And I think looking at their spawns as well, I think they're expecting a Penthouse.
Yeah, I mean, you generally would. Mira's still on the table. She's obviously, that's one of those points where if Mira's on the table and you can keep control of that kind of Penthouse in that way with the holds you do on VIP, the mirror window from Projector through onto Penthouse as well, like it's just such a very, very powerful operator point combination. But at the same time, a lot of teams practice without Mirror on the board. A lot of teams practice and find strategies for not having Mirror as your first pick, which, to be fair, has given them a lot of confidence in points that were previously seen as second choice points. And if there's a region that exemplifies that, it is LATAM.
Interesting Evil Eye placements coming up from Kamikaze there. Put both of them in Billiards, not too far away from each other. I mean, that is the typical attack that does tend to come through, where, you know, someone pushes into VIP, you cut off the cross, and then you push everyone else through into the aquarium, maybe put in a book from below to try and open up some stuff. And I think that FaZe are going to be very much within their rights to do that, of course. But honestly, without a castle here from Nip, I don't see how they defend against this very well.
It'll be interesting to see how this obviously moves on. You can see they're set up to try and start pushing straight against Hookah. Obviously, Maestro is still roaming around that cool vibes stairs. They are generally rappelling up from multiple different sides. Psycho and Wag both playing underneath in Sunrise, watching out over Blue Bar as well. Again, that's a big point of control, especially when you've got that threat of C4 being thrown on your floor underneath and just denying any kind of plant, because the push in from Hookah, I'm going to keep saying it like that just in case, Hookah balcony against to the point as well is normally the most common.
Yeah, that west balcony, definitely a big issue as well. Moving in here, Mav going to be trying to take this long angle from Ruins. As Moringa is going to be opening up all that he can and all that he will onto that Billiards room. Una has a great opportunity here to push in from Aquarium, because there's also a lot of smokes on the board for FaZe here.
Yeah, obviously they've still got Jackal holding the very long angle from Ruins. Moringa's trying to pincer and put pressure on the top of the opposite side of the Danger Donut on rooftop, just trying to threaten, and they're trying to get that first pick that you know you love to see. Cameraman, however, is going to start entering from office. They need to start thinking about how they can clear the bottom, because if they can get the buck underneath there, that is a huge amount of control they'll have. And again, they're just kind of funneling and forcing and pushing and prodding until they start to find bodies. Wag, however, is pushing straight into Cameraman and gets a very easy frag against him.
Yeah, very easy frag and no potential for a trade here coming out from FaZe, but wow, Mav is really going to be paying attention. Great game sense coming out from him. Takes Psycho off the board, and I think that, yeah, like if they put a book downstairs, that would have been very beneficial, of course. But all they really needed to do is take that Nitro off the board, and they have done so successfully. Nitro going to try and get a hit. Kamikaze getting way too aggressive. What a shot from Yuna! Takes 2 off the board. Kamikaze, PZD both go down. Yuna recovers the diffuser. As the push starts to come through. It's a 2v3 situation, not looking too good for Nip right now. But as long as Julio's still on the board as a mirror, I do believe that Nip can take this in. But no, Julio goes down to Astro with a double kill. Takes down Julio, takes down Wag. FaZe Clan take round number 1 with a successful attack on Coastline.
Now, if I was to predict a game like this, I feel like it's going to be obviously very back and forth. We can kind of see just instantly off the bat, there's not much rust. These guys are coming straight in. They're running tactics. They're running strategies. And I feel like that is going to exemplify how this game is going to play out. Obviously, you can never really predict. You just don't know based off of one round. But compared to a lot of the other teams, especially that we've seen throughout the tournament so far, they're coming in hot. They're coming in awake.
I think there's something that FaZe members say, or FaZe supporters say, when FaZe have such a dominant round like that. Something like FaZe right or left. Maybe you can help me out here.
I wouldn't even begin to know what
it's actually going to be FaZe up.
What
I'm
chat
going to be
is full of.
FaZe up go through. So I want to see it in the chat. If you support FaZe, I want to see FaZe up across that chat, and I want to see all the Ninjas supporters in here as well. Let's see who takes it as we move into round number 2. And yeah, I think that round also exemplified the great gun skill coming out across FaZe as well. Yuna and Asher with some incredible kills there. I mean, Yuna really thread the needle on that mirror kill.
Oh yeah, that was
not the mirror kill. The person who was behind.
Yeah, it was a beautiful, beautiful swing. Especially as you said, they were behind a mirror. Who it was doesn't matter because they've got sight lines on you. They can see, they know your movements, and yet to be able to swing right to left and just get that. The ability to do that is just something so dominant in this region, and then even more dominant in these 2 sets of 5. They are just such good fraggers and pinpoint aimers. It's just great to see. But we go to Penthouse now. Obviously, they have the mirror on the board. As we said, this makes this defense a lot less stressful in terms of holding and retaking and taking and all that kind of stuff. They're setting up a lot of alibis in VIP. How they're going to play this, I mean, we've seen a lot of aggression from Hall of Fame between LATAM teams. We've seen when we have come to this map, Julio generally looks like they're going to be setting up in theater.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fairly default setup coming out here, as PZD going to be playing onto the dock. Normally when you see this kind of setup, I'm expecting Kamikaze and PZD both going to be playing sort of around that VIP balcony fairly aggressively, trying to keep control for as long as they can. Kind of interested in Psycho bringing the alibi here, though.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen alibi played a couple of times. I think we even saw an alibi where they put all 3 alibis next to each other and stood in the middle of them and then still somehow got a kill. But, you know, it's always interesting to see because one of the things we often talk about with this region and this playstyle is a lot of it comes down to time. And it never normally ends as a timeout. But as soon as you kind of put a dampener in the time of a LATAM team's push, they struggle more often than not. So having an alibi just buys you maybe an extra 20 seconds, but sometimes that is the difference between winning and losing a round against these guys.
Yeah, no, it definitely can be. Let's see how it does go down, as we will see how this goes through exactly for FaZe, because they have brought the Thinker, but not on the person I was expecting the Thinker to be brought on. Obviously, that smoke ban's going to leave a lot to bring for, but Cameraman, again, is going to get immediately shut down. Julio is so good on that mirror, but so good at using the vertical play against Buck players. Yeah,
that's twice Buck has gone for that vert play and then just twice been shut down. This time, obviously, it was just the counter to that creeping around underneath those DJ machines, which probably have a real name. As Astro has just kind of watched for that long angle, hoping to get the rotation. Obviously, that wall is unreinforced that they're looking at. So that is soft and able to be blown up very easily. But they're just going to hold it, allow the rest of FaZe to get into position. You can see the drone work. You can see the information gathering. Wag getting a little bit zealous with peeking out of that penthouse window. As Moringa goes to start digging open drop downs. Astro hits one of the alibis. And this is what we talk about buying time.
Yeah, there's a lot of time delaying coming out here, but there's going to be a Adrenaline Surge comes out from Mav, who successfully takes the head straight off of PZD. It's going to be going down. It's going to be FaZe who start to move in here, start to try and get these kills, and start to secure the control. Starting to come through now as just the drones come out, the information comes out from them, and Astro should be able to secure VIP here, but this is a very dangerous position for Wag to be playing. He will go down. That's the echo off the board so early on.
Yeah, that's not a great operator to lose, but Kamikaze somehow gets taken by the grenade, and then Mav cleans up. Amazing how none of that landed against Mav.
Absolutely. What a shot from Julio! What was that? All across from Theater, takes the head straight off the glass of Yuna. And that's a 2v3 now. Julio trying to bring this in, but the diffuser will go down. Psycho goes down, all down to Julio in a 1v3. Throws out the Nitro, but can't find the kill, but does us a double kill for Julio! Beautiful! He comes through. It's going to be a 1v1 all into Julio. Can he bring this in? He has to find Moringa. Doesn't realize he's going to be sitting in the bathroom. Sees the diffuser. The flashbangs go out. That's going to give away Moringa's position here. Julio moves all the way up. He tries to bait out the diffuser. Flashbang goes right into his face. Moringa takes him down, but FaZe Clan take round number 2. But a beautiful attempt coming out from Julio.
So close. So bitterly close. Obviously, Moringa still had utility and was able to pick that up fairly casually to shut down that round, but at the same time, well played Mira to try to pull that back, getting 3 kills in the round. 2-0 currently to FaZe as we go on to potentially another point. They're putting a bit of thought into their third point. Obviously, they haven't won either, so they're free to go to any point they want to, and they're going to go to billiards again.
Julio's crazy.
It's crazy. It's
He is honestly going to be one of the best Mira players in the world.
Yeah, it's just the control of that vector and the movement and just everything about that play. You kind of look at it. It's the highlight reel stuff.
It is the highlight reel stuff. Unfortunately, Ninja's Pyjamas will not be able to hold on to that. But something I want to mention here as well is that Coastline tends to be an attacker-sided map, and I think these bans have definitely gone into that way as well. I mean, losing your smoke is just horrible here, especially with dealing with how FaZe tend to take these attacks where they use smokes of their own and they use glass to quite a big effect pushing in. They have one of the best glass players in the world on Yuna as well, has that beautiful deadly aim that just managed to take so many defenders off the board, and there's not really much of a counter you have to that.
And you took smoke out. They banned out smoke. They wanted to run their first 5 defenses without smoke. And he said so far it's kind of troubling them a little bit.
Just a tad here. It's still very confusing why Nip decided to take smoke off the board here. That is a very, very weird pick coming out from them, but FaZe Clan are definitely not going to let it go unnoticed. They are going to be pushing them down and punishing Nip for it. Despite Julio's best efforts, it will move into round number 3 to see how FaZe Clan take this. Yet again, another attack of the billiards room. I mean, the last attack of this, honestly, mostly just came down to fragging.
Yeah, I mean, we saw obviously that they've lost Cameraman twice. They know where they want to put Cameraman to start getting control of the push, and they lost him, and then they've gone, well, let's just push anyway. And then they've busted in, and they managed to still win the firefights. And that's one of the differences you see between FaZe and some other teams, is when parts of the plan start to fail, they're still confident enough to push out the rest of the plan, and often it comes off as well. They pushed straight through. They didn't really have too much vertical control, and they picked up very big frags on the point, and from then on, you've just forced Nip to be on the back foot just by playing the frags, playing the kills on point.
Definitely remaining pretty strong here. Let's see how FaZe Clan move through and try and take this, and despite the fact Cameraman should have a whale of a time on a Coastline, he has not been doing too well.
No, his first operator dead, 2 rounds in a row. Gonna drone out offices now, going to get a bit more information. Obviously, that was where he met his first demise. You can hear a bit of training, a bit of shooting going down. But again, FaZe, they're droning everything out. They're checking everything. They're just pushing and prodding as they did the first round. They're finding their ends and finding where they can start to get aggressive. And it looks like Nip have generally gone for the same hold. They have Psycho and Wag playing underneath as the Valk and the Jaeger. Again, with a lot of the wall between Sunrise and Blue open. Have the possibility to rotate underneath the point to go and find Buck toe-to-toe. And yet again, FaZe are pushing from this side. They're pushing from Aquarium. They have the Sophia there. They're setting up the diffuser over there as well. That's the same kind of thing they did before.
Yeah, lots of good drone work coming out as well. Jugo to be playing signed on his mirror. into that hooker lounge. We'll see how he goes through, but Nip still have beautiful control here. And again, this is all because of Psycho as well. The fact there's still a C4 below is going to give FaZe a lot to think about here.
And you can see, obviously, they're getting instant and quick control of Aquarium. Now, obviously, having the mirror kind of changes how you can hold this. Normally, you see teams try and lock down Aquarium as much as possible. They'll throw Jaegers in there. They'll throw a couple of people on two opposite corners, even occasionally a Maestro in there. But when you have that mirror to kind of keep that Overwatch for this kind of moment, you don't need to hold it as strictly. You can see, obviously, Psycho has rotated up to the top of Cool Vibes, looking for any potential, obviously, other rotations, catch people out. Wag is still playing underneath, so they have, interestingly, moved the C4 away, but Julio loops it through the hole and finds a frag, but the diffuser, it sounds like it's going down.
Looks like it's going to be going down shortly. What a shot from Julio! Yet again, takes Astro off the board. Mac takes Cameraman off the board, but Yuna fights back. Kamikaze goes down, Psycho takes down Yuna. Now a 1v3, all down to Map. Diffuser is down, is in a 1v3 clutch situation. Can he bring it through? Goes for the drop shot, but can't find it just yet. Nitro goes out, and PZD does successfully find Mav. And Nip finally on the board with their first round.
And the diffuser went down, as I said. They gave them Aquarium control, but again, they were able to use those C4s, use that utility just to push them back, push them off, and then pick off those frags through some of the holes that they opened themselves. But again, that was Nip's first round. 2-1, still 2 defensive rounds left to go to try to set the tone before the halftime. And you generally, I mean, you probably need to pull back one more at least to feel a bit more confident.
Still absolutely amazing shots coming out from Julio right now. He's absolutely deleting members from FaZe, and he is keeping Nip in this fight. 6-2 right now. Absolutely amazing work from Julio right now. But FaZe are still in the lead.
FaZe are still in the lead. 2-1. Penthouse Theater, we're seeing Doc, Pro, Mirror, Alibi, Maestro, Echo. Alibi again. Obviously, Alibi did actually pop off once before. They're swapping the glass out for Thatcher, though. The change that they want to make on this lineup is Thatcher. Obviously, the lineup worked the previous time round. So it'll be interesting where they decide to throw this Thatcher, obviously spawning at main entrance with a lot of the rest of the team, where they're going to try and use it to get rid of some of the Echo, the Maestro, well, stun the Maestro, drop the Echo, the Alibis. There's a lot of potential for those Thatcher grenades.
Attackers need to
Yeah, no, there is definitely a lot of potential for the EMP grenades coming out. We'll see how this goes down, as we'll see Ninja's Pyjamas could be holding down to Penthouse Theater. And this is like your default site these days, right? I mean, especially when you have a mirror on the board, especially having a mirror like Julio on the board.
When you've got a Julio mirror.
This tends to be your sort of default site being held. But FaZe had a pretty good attack of here. I mean, Julio almost brought it in, and he did insanely well with that. Unfortunately, couldn't quite bring it in all the way. But I think they're going to go for a slightly different defense. No, they are going to go for that same mirror window that Julio going to be putting down onto the back of 30 again. Please, Julio, stop changing your mind! He is going to put it onto the side of 30. So it is a slightly different defense.
A very slightly different. It doesn't look like they've reinforced any of that side. So it'll be interesting to see how much kind of faith they put that FaZe aren't going to push against it. Because they didn't last time, to be fair. That was where Julio was free to rotate out and start finding it. You know, it's one of those sites where if you do lock off too much of it, the eventual retake becomes so hard.
Well, the big thing about that mirror is give you huge amounts of intel onto 90 as well, and I'm pretty sure you can get an angle from there into VIP if you open up the wall a little bit. So,
oof,
that's a pretty good mirror window to have on your side there, and it gives you plenty of intel to fight against any sort of push that does come through luggage.
So we can see, obviously, Maestro is, well, kind of stacking up and borrowing the mirror window. They're feeding a bit of information again. We've said this about FaZe. They're very good at just droning out, testing the kind of enemies, testing what they're going on. Echo is feeding information about drones, just saying that, okay, they're currently checking this out. Moringa, they've seen each other. It's romantic. It's a love story. It's one of those things, the Echo drone and the attacker drone.
Something that's interesting is you can actually use the attacker drone to push the yokai drone.
I saw that.
You saw that?
I saw the theft of the yokai drone. Yeah, you can push an unsuspecting yokai right out of the map and get them destroyed if you've got the time and the skill and the patience. But I feel like these guys are more aggressive. And for the first time, Cameraman is starting to open up vertical and has not been killed yet.
Well, I mean, yeah, as I said, he did manage to open up vertical before, but Julio just shut him down right on down for that. So yeah, he's got to be very aware that there is Julio on the board, and he is definitely very good at using that against them. And Mav, unfortunately, is not able to pick Psycho out there as he rotates through onto Red Hole.
Yeah, I think we both made the same face when we saw him push past Astro, slowly digging forward. The Hibana charges go off. Astro just hard rotates, sees Mira. Julio puts some shots in, but not enough. There's Yuna picking off Wag from behind, and that is the echo off the board.
Wag a little bit upset by that pick. Someone's still holding the garage at 45 seconds left to go. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens. Yuna does manage to pick up that kill for free, but 37 seconds left to go on the clock, and it's going to be FaZe who start to begin their execute. They have one on the board, but Psycho going to aim back. Takes down Cameraman. Mav takes down PZD. Turns into a 4v3. Not looking too good for Ninjas right now. Still desperately trying to hold on, but Kamikaze going to get so little, but Psycho goes down to Astro. Now a 4v2. Now looking so good for FaZe. Now the utility starts to come down. Now the execute comes down. Now Kamikaze goes down, and now it's all into Julio. Throws out the Nitro, but can't find its mark. He has to try and deny the plant, but it is going to start going down. FaZe have so good here, and Yuna takes down Julio. He can't bring it in. FaZe clan take round number 4.
Again, you could see they were not panicked when they were coming through that execute. They had a lot stacked up and a lot of possibility. Obviously, they were, as you said, still someone watching the rotate from that far out with about 40 seconds left. You have to have a lot of confidence that things are going to go your way to keep someone that far away at point at that time, because otherwise you're in a very, very hard spot.
And a hard spot indeed. Let's move through into round number 5. And it's going to be Penthouse Theater defense yet again coming through from Ninja's Pyjamas. Let's see if they can lock it out this time.
Now they have, again, similar loadout. You've got the Echo, Maestro, Doc, Alibi, Lesion. I think it's one of the few kind of changes. But no Mirror currently.
There is a Thermite on the board, however, from Moringa. The first time that he's been playing Thermite other than the... he's been playing Hibana every single other round. So we are seeing that Yuna also could be playing on the Thatcher rather than his more traditional role of the Glass. So the Penthouse Theater defense, and yeah, Julio not going to be playing on the Mirror this time.
It's curious, obviously, to play without a mirror when you're on Clubhouse, when you're on Coastline.
I mean, yeah,
it's curious when you do it on Clubhouse as well, but when you're on Coastline and you have a mirror and you don't bring a mirror is one thing. But when you then also choose the Penthouse point to defend?
I think they just want to trade this up a little bit because they were relying quite heavily on these mirrors, and both of those mirrors had to go down on soft walls, which left them quite exposed as well. There was like a lot of kills going down through those soft walls as well, and there was quite a lot of soft restriction as well on top of that coming out from FaZe. So honestly, I'm perfectly okay with the strategy coming out. I think that
5 seconds to go.
It can work, and I think maybe if they take a little bit more aggressive strategy against FaZe, it could work out for them. The Valkyrie's definitely going to help with that.
Aggression works, but I guess we'll see how it plays out. But again, they are generally a bit more spread out across the map. They have PZD on the Legion playing underneath now, potentially going to catch Cameraman out again, as he seems to have been caught a few times. The Valcam would have spotted Cameraman going for that rotate, but he's just going to start climbing up. Mav on the Blackbeard as well. The first time we've seen Blackbeard today in this game, I believe.
Yeah, in this game.
I keep saying today, I mean in this game.
Yeah.
I need a translator.
I'm here. I'm here for you. Don't
Yeah.
worry. Yeah, I mean, we've seen that go through, but as you say, Valkyrie Cam could have spotted out Cameraman there, but he is the camera man.
He's the cameraman.
So you can't really spot him out.
He comes from far away.
We're not going to get all the way into that.
PZD starts moving through main lobby, trying to close, or trying to just stay alive underneath. It seems like Cameraman is starting to be a bit aggressive above instead, clearing out from Aquarium, watching the drones, getting the information. Mav knows Legion is there and is digging towards him through the door. Legion, you can see, just getting the heck out of there, rotating across the center courtyard, going to head towards Blue Bar instead. Astro, again, they're looking for these picks. They are themselves, I guess, aware that NIP want to play this a bit more aggressively, and instead, as you said, their drone game, their game of weighing up information and kind of guessing how things are going to go is really just exceptional. You can see Julio is a bit concerned. They have Kamikaze with the Maestro feeding information on 90 there. They know that there's stuff coming. Astro is worried about the rotate. Obviously, Legion is still down underneath, and there goes 90 wall.
Yeah, doing very well for that. They do manage to take the Maestro Cam off the board. Lots of rotates being made here from FaZe, as Moringa does manage to get through for a theater take. So completely different from FaZe this time. As completely different for Nip as well. Moringa does manage to open up successfully onto the theater. That's going to leave Nip in a pretty bad situation here. Wag is going to rotate through his yokai drones to see what they can do here, but Unit should be able to easily clean up that, and he will be able to do so. Oh, but a beautiful nitro from Julio. It takes Moringa off the board. That's Diffuser down as well outside theater. Mav takes down Psycho However in return. And there's 40 seconds left to go. Unit going to be moving up slowly through the hallway. Astro still holding down onto 90 to see what he can do to shut down the rotates. But Julio with another kill takes down Yuna. Cameraman desperately trying to find the PZD, who is still downstairs holding vertical, but not looking too good for FaZe Clan to try and bring this in. Cameraman still has a frag grenade, but he's not used it yet. Astro goes down to Wag. Cameraman just walks in blindly, and Kamikaze takes it down. Wag takes down Mav. Nip takes round number 5.
Wow, that was a surprising setup and a surprising take, and obviously Nip were very much, they were ready for it. They had a lot kind of defense in themselves, and you know, we've seen FaZe take that point twice with some pushing and aggression from the opposite side, from the balcony, DJ balcony, from the kind of drop downs, and yeah, it was a little bit messy, some of the trades, and there was a moment where Julio almost did an amazing clutch, but they still had it very well. That time they kind of, I don't know, they tried something different, and unfortunately it didn't work. There's not much else you can really say about that.
The Legion going 0 and 5. Yeah, that feels cameraman.
It happens sometimes. But Moringa bringing Doc, Maestro, Legion, Valkyrie, Jaeger, the rest of the team in kitchen service entrance as the first point.
We'll see how it goes now as we move into round number 6. It's going to be the first attacking round for Ninja's Pyjamas here, as we'll see FaZe Clan moving through onto the defense. Something that we've not seen so far. I know when we see kitchen service entrance, yes, it does tend to be a default pick, but only when we see a mirror ban, which we see fairly frequently coming out.
Well, they have 6th pick on to mirror. I assume they'll be using it to watch the service entrance. That's the most common place when you see mirror still have done it. But at the same time, you still have that second mirror. You can choose exactly where you want to do it, whether you want to set someone up above to keep vertical control and give them a bit more, whether you want to have it on the wall that Unit is currently reinforcing as well to watch over the main lobby entrance and just kind of get yourself some sight lines across the side of the There's a lot of possibility for that second mirror. Obviously, they also have the Maestro. They have the bout cams as well. There's, again, a lot of information that they can get themselves on this point.
Yeah, lots of information indeed. We're going to see how it goes down as we move to round number 6. It's going to be FaZe Clan looking pretty good so far with a 3-2-1 scoreline advantage. Let's see how it goes down. Julio on the Blackbeard. I mean, we've seen a decent amount of Blackbeard today, but I don't really think we've seen too much of an impactful Blackbeard, honestly.
He did say he's a great shield player.
I did say that.
And it's just a teeny tiny shield. Astro is setting up those ADSs. Cameraman is watching across the office entrance with the Legion playing in that server connector corridor. Moringa still digging for holes, as I said. That is where the first mirror has gone. Still has one more black mirror in pocket. Still doing setups, and 30 seconds is already into the round. Psycho going for that roam clear as Buck again. The use of Buck on this map especially can be so instrumental in a team getting... It's not the be-all and end-all. We've seen Buck go down a couple of times, and obviously FaZe still push to get the attack wins, but getting a Buck in position on this map, because so much of above and below points, depending on the point, is so powerful. Mav looks away. Just the worst second there, as I believe Zafia hopped over a balcony.
And it did hop on over indeed. Let's see how it does go down as FaZe start to just solidify their grasp on this. Nip are still to push through though. We see Julio rocking that SR-25, pushes all the way through into Sunrise Bar. PZD makes his way through onto the luggage and drones it all out accordingly. Sees that there is a rotate opened up down into security. Julio still holding down this very long angle. Great position for the Blackbeard to be playing though from Julio. It's going to be Kamikaze who finds a very early fight here. Not really sure where from, but he is going to be very, very lit up indeed. Also, drones are going to be out ahead of him. Psycho drops down into the bathroom. Kamikaze is going to be supporting him. Lots of Zofia charges going down. The Maestro Cam finally does get destroyed here. Yuna going to be in for a pretty rude awakening here in the theater. Still holding it all down. Lots of utility coming down, but no pick just yet.
Astro was not far away up there. Jaeger, Mav is also stacked up. Cameraman is just below, and with a beautiful pick against Julio, the Legion shuts down the Blackbeard, and there goes PZD as well. Kamikaze finds Yuna. There's a bit of trade, and Wag in a firefight directly onto point, but worried about the push coming from blue.
Yeah, at least could be very aware of that push onto blue, but the amount of things that he's lost, and how does Psycho do a rotate like that and no one picks him up? He's going to trigger the Legion Mine. Astro takes down Kamikaze, and now all down to Psycho and Wag to bring this in. And no, Psycho goes down, so now all down to Wag. He does have control of the diffuser. He does get into a little bit of a gunfight here with Moringa on the side. Just trying to fast peek around the bomb, but not going to be able to get a kill successfully. He's going to be ran out on no camera. I'm going to be holding the angle there from poolside entrance. Wag goes down. FaZe Clan take round number 6.
Well, again, they just held that control upstairs. They were there to back each other up when the Maestro got into a little bit of trouble. And then as soon as they started to get those picks, it kind of completely unraveled for Nip. Unfortunately, you can see, obviously, Mav 8-3. Really flying the flag. But again, those frags are quite balanced across the team. Whereas, obviously, at Nip, Julio, who's had a really, really good game so far, 8-4. But they're just struggling to get those picks and struggling to get those trades that are so vital when you go up against a team like FaZe.
Yeah, but as we say, it's not all about the kills at all. We'll see how he goes down as we move into round number 7. And if you're getting a good amount of kills, but you are not winning rounds, then something is clearly going wrong there. We're going to move into round number 7. We'll see a blue bar, sunrise bar defense from FaZe Clan. We'll see how Ninja's Pyjamas want to deal with that. We're going to see Montaigne being brought out by Julio.
Big man Monty. Hey, he said he loves shields.
I mean, he's played a shield every attack around there.
Every round, 100% shield rate. Mirror Maestro, Valk, and Jaeger holding blue and sunrise. Again, a lot of potential to not only open up some soft destructions with the shotguns, but feed yourself information. And as we've seen and just saw, the information translation from Astro, well, the entire FaZe team, but how it played to those players upstairs with the Maestro of Yuna and then Astro just really shows what you can do when you have that kind of balance and that kind of level, just that kind of team synchronization.
Yeah, no, they definitely do have quite a lot of that synchronization going on, although I agree with the Montaigne pick here, and I don't know if they realized it was going to be a sunrise bar, but Montaigne very, very viable for this, of course. But the rest of the picks going through here, I'm not entirely sure if they work too well in tandem. I do like the Twitch pick here, though. Like, even though on the last map we didn't really see too much mirror, because of course you can't. You know, the Twitch pick was still coming through, and I really just didn't understand it.
Well, it's one of those things where, you know, some picks make sense to you, some picks don't. Some picks, they'll bring them for a very particular reason, and you often just don't see the reason because they die. And I think we've seen that a couple of times, especially from the Twitch before, but you can see Julio is heading straight upstairs. Again, they want to get that vertical control. They pushed for it last time. Unfortunately, they just lost 1 or 2 of the firefights. Just watching for runouts from DJ as well, working as a walking camera just for the team, and it is them droning out Cameraman and Astro above. They have a quick rotate if they need to take it. They don't have to take these fights. They're just going to try and buy as much time upstairs. But Astro watching out as they go up these stairs. No, turns away at the worst possible time.
Yeah, FaZe still within pretty good control here so far, but I think the main pushing method for Nip here is definitely going to be Julio on the Montaigne. But if he could go down early on, that could be very good. PZD going to make great use of his utility, but Cameraman making equally great use of his utility, throwing up that Nitro down onto the balcony, takes down Julio while he's on his drone, and that's the Montaigne already off the board.
You can see Cameraman is just going to try and hold that beautiful turn, but unfortunately Kamikaze was there. Moringa finds Wag and the down on the Sophia from underneath as well, and that is 2 very big movements in a very quick space of time.
Sophia could have withstanded there, but Kamikaze will get revived regardless. Nip will recover the diffuser, and we'll just get the hell out of there. They do still have Psycho on the board here, so they still have the ability to open up quite a lot of vertical control. Mav going to go for a run out outside offices, but will be unsuccessful for him. Psycho going to try and find some picks with the vertical play, as Moringa looks to try and actually challenge him here.
Yeah, well, we've seen kills going ways in vertical plays you shouldn't really get or understand, but hey, that is the skill of these guys when it comes to fragging, the skill of both sets of teams. Yuna finds Psycho. In the meantime, just going to reload that Alder, and Kamikaze is waiting for him to pop up again. PZD drops Mav, and it is 2 versus 2 with the Maestro and the Mirror, and still a minute left on the clock.
Yeah, still a minute left on the clock indeed. Looking pretty good indeed for FaZe Clan here to try and hold on to it. Kamikaze does still have control of the diffuser though. Oh, that was almost a beautiful wallbang. Kamikaze will be lit down to just about 1 HP in a dream. As we see Moringa move through onto the blue bar, see what he can do here. And just all holding down. 30 seconds left to go on the clock. PZD will start to move through. And sees what he can do here. Kamikaze pushes through onto the kitchen. Sees what he can do when he gets an entry. But Moringa shuts down Kamikaze. All down to PZD in a 2v1 clutch situation. Can't bring it in. Moringa takes down PZD. And that'll be FaZe Clan. Take for an episode.
Well, that was, again, just very much in control, seemingly, of the space and the information. Obviously, Nip started to do very well. They started to get some of those picks, but the double C4 from underneath kill just shows you could see it. The Valcam was watching and waiting and waiting and waiting. And when you're getting kills like that, all you need is just the word, just the do it. And it works twice.
Yeah, all you need is that going for you. Good to see FaZe Clan are going to be on a match point right now to take the first map. Let's see how they do it. And if Nip can bring it back. I mean, it's going to be an uphill battle. We haven't seen too many good attacks from Nip so far, which is surprising because we've seen mostly Coastline going to the favor of attackers.
Yeah, well, obviously, this is the third, well, they've taken 3 rounds in a row so far. They're bringing the IQ, which I think is definitely a good decision. As we said, the communication and the camera work of FaZe has been pretty stellar so far. So taking the IQ to shut down, because there, as I said, the one Valcam that was feeding so much information about the movements into Hooker upstairs just tore the entire of Nip's attack apart. Yeah, like they lost Astro, who was going for the fight inside Billiards, but it doesn't matter if you can just get them from below. So bring the IQ is a big, big spot. They still have the Buck, they still have the Zafir and the Ash, and they've dropped the Twitch this time.
The other big thing I can't understand here is we talked about how the smoke was really... The smoke ban, sorry, being through here really gave way to FaZe just opening up with great glass entry. There's a lot of the things they could have done as well. They had a Finker at one point as well. That went out quite well for them. Smoke is the only real counter Finker there is. So, yeah, like, we've not really seen any of that come out from Nip, so I'm kind of confused as to why they even banned the smoke in the first place here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's one of those hard ones to call, because taking out Smoke in that position, yet some teams don't like to go up against Smoke, but he's so often irreplaceable in a defense. Often. At the same time, yeah, you can bring other people with shotguns to help open stuff, which is one of the roles he's generally fallen into. He has the ability to push against shields, against counters, and stuff like that. But play against the lack of smoke. Moringa finds Julio in the meantime. That is a big take for the Mirror to get almost instantly, because it's the IQ.
Yeah, very, very good pick. Indeed, Julio already going to go down. That IQ off the board so early on, when there's so many gadgets about. It's not good.
No, it's worse than not good. It's really not good. But you can see cameraman is lurking around the southeast stairwell. Moringa again, the vertical push. Somehow no one takes any damage in that trade. Gonna retreat, not retweet, back to Cool Vibes stairs. Get a bit more control and a bit more safety as they start to knock on the walls. And again, it's a good thing that you see from FaZe is they're happy to pull back from an exchange if they don't think they're gonna get it. Get a bit more information, which works so brilliant for them, and then take the fight, and then push the fight when they feel comfortable. But you can see Nip are just trying to find a way, and you hear a lot of Zafir charges going off. The grenade just popped down the delivery chute. Astro finds Kamikaze in the meantime. And again, it's Psycho finding Astro.
Yeah, I don't think Astro really stood much of a chance. They were trying to safely retreat outside the aquarium. He will go down, but Yuna quickly trades it right on back. Psycho goes down. Now all down to PZD and Wag to see if they can bring it in. It's a 4v2 situation. FaZe Clan looking pretty good to bring it in. Luggage will be lit up. Looking pretty good. Wag will rotate downstairs. PZD will try and join him. Flashbangs go out to try and burn the ADS and to the side. Cool Vibes push comes up. Wag takes down Moringa. Looking much, much better for Nip now to try and bring this in. PZD just waiting for the rotates to come through. Wag going to be for the drones. There's still 50 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of time for Nip to slowly make progress here and push up Cool Vibes. Mav could be holding down the angle. Will not hold it down. Looks the wrong way. White takes him down. Equalizes into a 2v2. Looking really good for Ninja's Pyjamas right now to try and bring this in. Flashbangs will go out. You're going to be still onto the site. Still going to be looking the wrong way, though, as the rotate comes up outside the balcony. Pushes through. Cameraman trying to deny the plan. Yuna going to go for the spray, but can't find the kill just yet. But Cameraman does find the kill, finds a double kill. Cameraman locks out the round with a double kill of his own. FaZe Clan take that round and they take the map. Beautifully well played there by FaZe Clan.
Well, that was Nip's map, but FaZe just kind of took it. They pushed hard. They just got a little bit relentless towards the end there. And even when, as we said, they were looking the wrong way, curious rotation towards the end to get called out from Cool Vibe Stairs. And yet they still just push back. They push back, they take it. They're so comfortable.
Yeah, it seemed like they just kind of gave it away there at the end. There was so much potential there for him to bring it in. But talking about giveaways, we do have a giveaway.